Welcome, everybody, to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. With me today, I have our Queen of the Undead, Cirrus,
I am sincerely hoping that audio is actually coming through because I'm not seeing any indication of that right now.
and our favorite little Boo Berry, Wayne.
Uh, the hell did you just call me?
You're a booberry now.
A
You don't know
like
Boo
the
Berry? Do you
cereal?
not? Yeah.
Yeah, like the cereal.
Actually, I do like blueberry. Hi, I'm Wayne. Yeah, podcast.
This is where. Thank you very much. Pup is here in. Oh my god, that's a terrible pun. I was gonna say Pup may not be here physically, but he's here in spirit. And then I realized Halloween.
Spirits. Spirit
Yeah,
Halloween.
unfortunately, Pup decided to quit the show. He was screaming last week, this is the worst sex cult he's ever been in. We try to remind him this isn't a sex cult. He just wouldn't hear it, so he's gonna go start his own up in the mountains. So we wish him on his endeavors, and we'll see him next week.
We should have had like a Spirit Halloween costume store banner like over his gravestone.
Oh my god, that'd be great. But yeah, we are a Sonic related podcast. You guys might be aware of that. If you've heard us, we've been doing this for 30 weeks. Maybe we missed last week. Apologize about that. But yeah. And in the spirit of things, like spirit of Halloween, we're gonna be
Damn
talking
it,
some
Nick.
creepy Sonic stuff, and we got some fun ideas for the next couple weeks here. But oh my god, the cum cult.
It is
Never
the cum
change.
cult.
Yeah, but I figured today we're gonna just talk a little bit about some of our favorite spookier Sonic levels. 'Cause as it turns out, there are quite a few of them over the history of this franchise, and we only have a handful of them. But like I did a little bit of research. There's a lot more that we're not even like that are on our list right now.
I haven't played Sonic Rivals, and yet apparently there's some spooky levels in there that I just
Oh
couldn't.
yeah, dude.
I feel weird because like there are the obvious mainstays, and then there's actually levels from games that I legitimately enjoy that I didn't get a chance to go back and play through for the episode that I really wish I did. Like freaking Skeleton Dome from Secret Rings. Like I feel bad. I want to talk about that level because it's one of those levels that's like structured really well to be a Sonic level while also having a spooky aesthetic, but anyway, continue. Sorry. Nah.
No,
Yeah,
it's fine. So we should probably I'd say we start like closer to the start of things here, and then we go on from there.
Closer to your era, you boomer.
Yeah, that's right. The good
you
times.
Sonic boomer.
Petridge Farm
That's it.
remembers.
Pup
Good
Ice.
Sonic games.
Damn it! I just called Wayne Pup because I'm used to him
They're so
disappointing
used
me.
to it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, sadly, I was not able to really go back and replay stuff this week. I'm gonna be doing a lot of this based off memory.
Oh, you've been playing a lot of Metroid. You're fine.
I've been playing some Metroid, but mostly just trying to work on a video that I have not been getting very far in.
Well, I guess we could start. So I know that Marble Zone has like tombstones and shit in it, but I kind of wanted to start.
But no, we are starting there.
We are starting there. Okay.
Yes, I have things to say. I'm sorry, but like, I don't think like throughout any of the classic trilogy we have anything that's like full on like this is Halloween. This is Halloween. Everyone come on the Pumpkin King. Whatever.
Wait,
That stuff like that. But
Those aren't the lyrics.
Everybody ripping off the pumpkin thong.
Oh, God.
Look.
Anyway,
you brought cringe into this house.
I did. You named our episode Spoopy.
Yeah, it's Spoopy.
Spoopy. Grown adult man. What is wrong with you?
Spoopy fucking levels, Nick.
Spoopy is one of the worst words anybody has ever come up with.
It really is.
No, it's not.
Anyway.
It is one of the best words in the entire world.
No, because Pup is in the chat and he did bring it up. Like, yeah, Marble Zone it was a very interesting like dark turn after Green Hill. Like that's level 2. and immediately gets this like just this really somber music. Everything slows down, and yeah, it's like this deep underground, yeah, like a mausoleum, like we've talked about 100 times before.
Yeah.
And I know we're all probably sick and tired of it. And like game 2, they again they kind of flirt with it, but they don't really go on full on spoopy, as Cirrus
Yeah.
likes to call it.
Yeah, they don't. Mystic Cave is not. It's
Yeah, but
the
that
music.
dude.
Yeah,
that
the music
slaps so hard.
the music feels like you're in. So okay, Mystic Cave's music sounds like a dance remix of the universe of like the idea of Universal's fucking monsters. That's what it sounds like to me. I just hear like like all of Universal's monsters just trying to dance to that. I'm just like, yeah, no, that tracks. But you know, it's the level itself is not that scary in aesthetic. I don't think I even thought about it being scary as a kid when I was playing it, but I do know that
No. I kept waiting for something to pop out when I first got there because that music is just so intense compared to everything else.
music makes you feel like something's gonna happen, and it just doesn't.
No, you got fireflies. Watch out. No, but and people are noticing it in chat, and I think it's a good point. But one of the cut levels, Genocide City, like what a fucking name.
I so remember Sonic was a series at that time, and it isn't as much anymore, but was always trying to go against the grain. So like having a level like that where you just go, hey, we're just gonna call the level something completely off the fucking wall because Mario wouldn't dare do that. Having a level named Genocide City seems like that was the whole reason they would have gone that route. Is literally just to go, this isn't what other platformers are gonna do.
I don't know, dude. I think it's more along the lines of like a whole lot of other Japanese developers. Oh, this sounds cool. We don't really understand the word that well, but we're gonna use it because it sounds cool. Like,
I would assume that's been done. I mean, look at what we do with the Latin language all the time.
I mean,
yeah,
to be
absolutely. I mean,
there,
look at what we do with Mandarin on our stupid bodies and tattoos.
there is a. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, so I know that like I'm the only one here that likes card games. Period. But there is a card in Yu-Gi-Oh that was called After Genocide, and it was released in like the 4th or 5th set. And for 10 years, nobody cared that card was called that. And then suddenly, I guess people understood that, oh shit, genocide's a bad word. And the card got like instantly reprinted as After the Struggle. But for 10 years, we did have a children's card game card called After Genocide.
I wish Pup was here and he's seen his comments.
God.
Sonic 2 almost a very different game. Level list went Hitler Hill, Genocide City, Nazi occupied Poland zone. Oh God, we miss you, Pup. Oh man,
Pup, why are you
lunatic?
Why are you not here? God, the next fucking meeting is going to be about why your absence is missed. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, Pup, you like? I didn't know you liked. Oh, that's not what I'm talking about. You fucking trading card games.
Okay, all right.
Anyways.
Let's keep on rolling,
man.
We have to keep on going on.
Dude. Just keep on rolling, as Fred Durst has said.
Look, I am
our Lord and Savior Fred Durst.
I am so used to responding to the things Pup says in regular show that like my brain is just clued into. No, I have to respond to him. He's the 4th host.
Anyway, so yeah, Sonic 2 had again flirted with it a little bit, and I think the most that Sonic 3 does is Sandopolis, specifically Act 2. And I do have to appreciate, like, regardless of how out there Carnival Night is for Sonic 3, I feel like they're at least staying consistent with the Angel Island theming with that giant ass I almost called it podcast pyramid.
Oh yeah, I love going into the Sunset City podcast and getting chased around by ghosts.
I mean, so have you been here?
So,
According to the IDW comics, there's a body count behind Infinite here somewhere. I can't find it.
That little weakling could not.
No, Wayne, he is not weak.
He's not weak.
Nick is just sitting here trying to keep us on track, and we're like, but we want to make fun of the F game.
I will. Fucking hell. What I will say, like, yeah, because Marble Zone was kind of like it set the standard for like, oh, we're doing a kind of like offsetting level, but it also set the precedent for the best type of Sonic level, one set in a temple of some variety.
Oh, you and your fascination with those levels. That's why you wanted us to talk about that one in SA1 when we get there.
Yeah,
swear to fuck.
it legitimately creeped me out as a kid.
We'll get to it. God
Okay.
damn it, Sandopolis.
Ghosts.
Well, I've said it in one of my videos, but the first time I ever experienced that level, I was playing Knuckles because I was excited to play Knuckles with Sonic and Knuckles. So, if you play Sonic, you play through the first little bit of the level, you roll through some tubes, and then you run into one of the little animal pods. But instead of critters coming out, when you jump on top of it, and you're forced to, thanks to the level, ghosts come out, and they're loose throughout the level. If you play Knuckles, they're already out, and the level is dark, and they are full on like Batman-eared and ready to kill you. So that stressed the shit out of me as a kid when I first got to that level. That was the first time I think in any Sonic game I was like, "What is happening? I don't understand. I'm not happy right now."
Well, that was like even playing through Three Knuckles for the first time myself. It was just, God, that level is unsettling just conceptually. It feels like everything is on such a stricter time crunch because I'm just like, I don't want to get chased down by
Well,
these.
yeah, because you're
things.
constantly having to constantly having to turn the lights on. Like it is a race every time. Like, oh dear, it's the idea behind a water level, but instead of having to find air bubbles, you're having to turn on lights. But conceptually, it's the same thing. And but without like the slowdown that comes with the water levels. Do you know what? Levels that induce fear. That should have been the actual topic. So we got to go talk about Chemical Plant now. Sorry, everybody.
I mean, that's kind of what we're gonna get to with Lost World and all that. Not the game, the level.
I mean, I'm
But
pretty
that's a
sure
good
for some
point.
people,
I'd say like the water sections definitely were my first points of actual stress in any Sonic game. To this point, yeah, I would say like the water levels definitely was way stressful. It was way worse than anything in Mystic Cave. Absolutely.
because Mystic Cave, the music gave you the idea that something was going to happen, but when you went through when you went through levels like Chemical Plant, and especially places like Sandopolis 2, those levels are ones that they get your heart pounding, and you're like, okay, I want out of this place now, Mom, please.
Yeah. Oh, that drowning music is the worst.
It is stuck in your memory.
Yeah,
No,
it's
and-
like they really want you to feel panicked in those moments, and I mean it works.
It certainly
but when
does that.
when I was a kid, it was always just sort of like I wasn't good at direction, and so on top of being terrified, I was also lost, and I was just like, I don't know which way to go.
So
I have
you
to get
were-
there fast, but I don't know where it is.
And then later you were in a lost world.
I was.
You were.
Yeah. I mean, that came first because I didn't get to play the 2D games until after Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure being my first game for Sonic.
Fair.
Well, we might as well jump to that. I'm trying to think of like what might be the first indication of like a more traditional Halloween style level, because we do get those a little bit later in the game specifically, but I don't think in any of the classic games that I can think of off the top of my head do they kind of carry that motif. Like any of the spin-offs or anything like that. So we might as well just carry on to Sonic Adventure, because there isn't anything like Pumpkin Hill in that game, but there's definitely some interesting spots in there. But like before Lost World, one I did want to bring up because I want to talk about it again eventually is Red Mountain. Like that,
Especially
lot
the
of
second
spots-
half. The second
well, yeah,
half.
that's what I was gonna get. Yeah, like not the first
Yeah.
half really. I mean, there's some like skull-shaped rocks that will shoot fire at you. But yeah, when you get into second half, like so many other levels in that game, like there's this drastic shift in tone, like halfway through the level. And that one really stood out to me.
Remember one of the missions is like the fucking trapped people in hell?
Yeah,
you're like,
in the
what?
DX port, they just straight up call them the prisoners of hell.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until the 360 version, because like I didn't bother with the missions with the GameCube game, and they weren't in the original Dreamcast game. Like yeah, those ghosts fascinated the shit out of me. And then like when you see that motif, those like goofy, like almost like cemetery tombstones
Yep.
that are just like dancing around in the underground, and again music that just fucking slaps. But yeah, it takes a completely different turn there. It was awesome. It really was like just running through hell.
Red Mountain is a very I know that we're talking about like the spooky, scary stuff in it, but conceptually, Red Mountain's a level that I love revisiting because the concept of the level begins with an ascent. You are you're fighting with verticality constantly, trying to get to the top of the mountain. But then when you get into the mountain, your goal is to stay horizontal, and the level is constantly fighting you as you're trying to do that. And for a platformer, that is a fun concept where you're just like, no, I just want to keep going forward, and the lava goes, I mean, you can try. And that's just, it's a great fucking level.
It really is. I fucking love that level. I really, really love that level.
It's super cool. It is kind of funny how like the music just goes from this kind of like timeless, upbeat, jazzy thing to something that could only exist in the late 90s.
Yeah, that's a tune that I have not heard replicated very well.
You can still hear June's kind of music, like throughout that entire track. Like you could really hear him there. I really would like to hear him like revisit that specific track because it's really fucking good.
Yeah,
it's just the entire soundtrack of Sonic Adventure is just something special, man.
It is.
Sonny brought up a good point there.
Oh yeah, no, I hadn't thought of that, but we're talking about like the one in Amy's version of Twinkle.
Yeah,
I mean, all that Amy was really like, it was kind of stressful the first time I played that game. Like it is just Resident Evil Nemesis, except you're playing Amy.
I mean, I would say the Emmys from Metroid Dread, but it's just me having better opinions.
Oh my god, I swear.
It's like these things that existed before that fucking game or something.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's the only game that exists now.
All games are Metroid Dread. Pokemon, turn-based Metroid Dread. Mario, fast-paced Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread, it's Metroid Dread, Metroid Dread.
It was a... Sorry.
They played with no, I mean they played with that carnival theme really well, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of that mirror room. It was a lot of fun.
And it was interesting.
You go ahead. I'm sorry, I keep talking.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine. I was gonna say, like, it was an interesting, like, I'm not the biggest fan of the world of like the depowering of Amy to a degree. Although at the same time, that was like, I think at that point that was the most they'd ever really given her to do.
That was the first time we ever played
your
with
transition from just being a damsel in distress to being a hero in her own right.
Yeah. And
I got a lot to say about Amy. I have a lot of respect for her character growth in Adventure.
After Adventure, like before Adventure, she was the girl that got captured by Metal Sonic. Yep. After Adventure, she was the woman you really don't want to fuck with, because after that we got playable Amy in Sonic Advance, and she was probably the most overpowered playthrough in that game. Then we got Amy in Sonic Heroes, which, despite that being the easy mode...
So, Cirrus?
Yeah?
Let's stay on point.
You stay on point.
Well, I was going to say... it was... even there, I was going to say, it was like, it was kind of an evolution of her damsel in distress sort of thing, is adding this sort of like cat and mouse angle to her gameplay.
Yes, yeah.
Because she was still, the victim of just being chased around to be used as... well, they weren't even after her. They were after the bird, right?
Yeah, she just happened to be carrying the bird. So, I mean, she wouldn't let go of the bird. So this had to take her.
Well, they weren't even after the bird. They were after the emerald.
Yeah, the bird wouldn't let go of the emerald. So, I mean, fucking, it's all part and parcel.
Yeah, and it's like, I liked. I did like that they kind of took that angle and they're just like, okay, so she's generally the damsel in distress sort of thing, but she's given a more protective role here, so she's actually going out of her way to like keep something safe, and then like evolve that into, you know, at the end of her campaign when this stalker that's been chasing her around, this kind of like this symbol of fear for this character, uh as soon as it hurts the thing that she's been trying to protect, she just goes, she's ready to throw down. She's just like,
It-
all right, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
dude.
yeah.
So now I have to have freaking Amy Rose fan art where she's dressed as Jill Valentine in RE3. Thanks, Wayne.
That's pretty dope.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I appreciate you, chat. Thank you so much. That was got a whole chat about Amy. Like, there's a lot I've been wanting to say about her for a while. But yeah, Wayne, that's a great summary of that transition. The more I talk about Sonic Adventure, the more I appreciate like the growth of each of the characters in that game. That's a story for another time. Chat, I do need to let you guys know because we didn't say it up front, and we're usually a little bit better about it. But we do appreciate the super chats, and we are saving all of them. But if you're new here, we save them till the end of the video or podcast, depending on how you take it in. Um, and we'll get to them at the end. So we appreciate it. We're not ignoring anything here. We just don't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation when it gets as wild as it does, as it just did.
We can
Um,
we can get on tangents already really badly.
oh yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
staying on Sonic Adventure for a little bit here because Wayne has been wanting to talk about. This was again another level that kind of caught me off guard in terms of spooky Sonic levels. But the more I thought about it, the more I agreed. But Wayne, if you want to take it away.
So I want to take you to this idea, little younger Wayne, small Wayne,
He's
playing
taking
on a
us down
Dreamcast.
memory lane.
His first Sonic game, Sonic Adventure. He's having a good time, everything like that. He gets to the egg carrier. He's having a blast jumping around through the sky, like destroying stuff. We reach Eggman and we fight Chaos 6. It feels like a fully fleshed out adventure to a degree. And then the egg carrier detonates and crashes, and Sonic wakes up in the what'd you on Angel Island, the Mystic.
No,
No,
he's in the forest, like a
yeah,
rainforest
the
kind of.
the forest in the Mystic.
This game that Wayne
Wait, what's it
loves, that he
called?
definitely remembers, the Mystic Jungle.
It's not Mystic Jungle. The train headed for the Mystic Ruins.
There you
Yeah, it's
go.
the Mystic Ruins. The Mystic Ruins. God damn, I need to replay that game. You know, Sonic wakes up in front of this temple as it just wakens. Like something has shifted here. I don't think it was just by his approach. You've been in the forest in the Mystic Ruins before. But now it's like something else is happening. You go inside and it is on a different level. The music shifts into something that's just it's got a more haunting melody to it. It still also has this like this really nice beauty to it as well. The piano really helps kind of elevate this sense of majesty to the palace that you're in, to this temple, to this ancient civilization. But there's also a feeling of dread, and I'm not saying that to be funny.
Ha
There
ha!
is actually
Metroid
like
joke.
there is an intimidation factor to it as well. Of course, like it does shift again once you get further into it, where it gets a little more menacing. After you
Okay. We're live, technical issues aside. This is this is a rough one.
It's fine. This is what happens when we don't have Pup around.
Yep.
We yell about all the times he causes chaos in the show, and turns out
He
it's
was
exactly
He's
what
the
you
one
need
that
with
keeps
a
it all
Sonic
together.
podcast.
he was actually the missing ingredient the whole time.
the true Christmas spirit was Channel Pup.
The real channel pup was the Christmas spirit we made along the way.
Every
God.
time an angel gets its wings, Pup shits in the lawn somewhere.
Every time Pup shits on his friend's lawn, an angel gets its wings.
I
There we go.
was doing the reverse because of the angel. You get it.
I get it.
It was a good
I
show.
get it.
Are we actually back on the show?
Yes,
right
yeah,
we're
yeah,
back.
we're live,
All
we're
of
live.
that was live.
and
it's okay. But you know what? You know what?
Good. I didn't want Pup to miss any of that.
Having all of that live is the most important part of all. Because after all, isn't that what Christmas Ween is about?
Christmas Ween.
Christmas Ween.
We're talking about Aztec temples with echidnas and giant snake. Who gives a shit about themes anymore? Fuck the world.
I did just do an episode on Jesus Ween.
I don't care. You talk about Jesus genitals all the day long. Let's get back to
That's
Lost
not
World.
what I mean. So we need
That's
to talk
what I
about a
heard.
kid.
How do you not say
genitals.
Jesus? I'm sorry. No, who says Jesus Ween and doesn't immediately think of some Christ cock? Are you kidding me?
You mean some divine dick?
Yeah. I'm talking about some sacrilegious sexual encounters.
Nick, be not afraid.
I feel like at this point we're just making up for the lack of Pup with as much obscenity as we can.
We are.
This is where Pup is gonna pop on and go, guys, we need to have a talk. Okay, you guys crossed. I think you guys crossed the line.
Oh.
My
gonna stop us. Jesus, not today.
He was too busy being nailed by a bunch of Romans, Nick. Come on.
Oh yes, more sex jokes. Anyway,
welcome to a Sonic podcast, everybody, for the classic and modern degenerates.
I hope you brought your kids.
I no joke. I have a friend of mine whose kid does watch this show because he's a huge Sonic fan.
I've had
he's
friends
like
of mine
9.
Say, like they've like, oh, I've heard of a game apologist I watch is like 7 years old. Like you are literally too young to be on YouTube. You knock it off. There are so many cum jokes in my colors video. I can't do it.
You guys watch Pan Pizza? Rebel Taxi?
Of
course, yeah. Oh my god, his latest video. Jesus Christ, dude. Like some of the jokes he made in that one. Oh
I haven't laughed that hard in a while. If any of y'all are
oh god,
that was great.
He's covering stuff like I've always wanted to cover, and I know people wouldn't watch it, so I'm so grateful for him. Because he's just talking about some crazy ass just jet ski games. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
And guys, oh, you know what? Yeah, all y'all go watch Rebel Taxi's newest video about jet ski games when you get a chance. It's fantastic. It deserves more views.
Yeah. Good shit. Anyway.
So, yeah, Lost World in Sonic Adventure 1. I like that level a lot, and it's spoopy because it creeped me out as a kid. Not so much the Knuckles version of it, although it did give us one of the single best musical tracks in the entire Sonic franchise. The bass line in that kicks every level of ass.
And I literally do not remember that music, and I've played that game so many times.
How do you guys not what Lost Lights? For
I don't remember it. I don't
remember it.
I've been trying to find
stuff was so good though, dude.
Leading lights.
I've been trying to find some way to work in a Zavik jump scares Knuckles joke into here, and I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do that.
Feel good about yourself. You say this kind of thing.
Do I? No, not honestly. No. Do I Sonic Colors ultimately? No, I don't. I want to die a little bit on the inside every time I think about blue hedgehogs.
I want to die a lot a bit.
To be fair, I think that has nothing to do with blue hedgehogs, though, Wayne.
It's some of these people in our chat.
Are there any apartments for rent in Sunset City?
Oh, God.
Yes, so Nick. Good. From the Evil Delic, the legendary Colors video, Nick. Where is it?
It is caught between Nick's last couple weeks at his job that they just keep throwing hours at while trying to get commissions done for a friend while also trying to prepare for another friend coming in this weekend to hang out with me and my wife. It's been a very horrifically busy month for me. I'm very sorry. I made it way too long. Here's the truth.
And you just
Here's
freaking
what I did
shoved in
wrong.
a fucking part for me to voice down too. What the hell?
Well, here's the problem. Like, truth be told, this is a learning lesson for me because, like, I did my entire video, but I was like, there's more to say. There's always
Mhm.
more to say. And it literally was just like I did a rough draft and recorded it, and then started recording more bits and then putting it in there when I really should have just scrapped everything, put it into the main script, and then just redo the whole thing. Like the main chunk that took so long was me just spending forever adding new bits and pieces to it while removing some other stuff. As I said one thing that was entirely wrong, but if you go to my Patreon, you can listen to it. Doesn't matter. I'm getting off track here to promote myself. We need to get back on track
You're
here.
you're even promoting a video that is currently vaporware, you son of a bitch. What do you think this is? Metroid Dread?
I want to talk about that giant snake.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I like the giant snake.
There is a lot in that game. Pup, why are you showing us a picture of a sulcata? Oh, look at that sweet baby. That's way too small for him.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Why is he showing us pictures of this?
I don't know, but they're
tortoise.
adorable.
Pup is just sending us pictures of animals.
He's just making art. So, he's basically part of this episode without being part of this episode at this point.
I appreciate it, man. I miss this fucker. But I don't know why he's just sending us pictures of animals. But yeah, dude, like I guess the standout for me in terms of Lost World, that specific level, I mean the music itself was incredible. I really do think that level is one of my standouts for that game. I think every one of Sonic's levels in that game is probably a set piece in itself. But that giant stone snake and the ghost prisoners in Red Mountain, I've always wanted to know more about them. If you guys would let me, if I do enough research, I want to do some unsolved Sonic mysteries next week when we reconvene.
Oh, hell yeah. No, that'd be great. Because we
is-
definitely got to talk about those prisoners. Because that is one of the strangest little mysteries of the Sonic franchise.
There's a lot there to talk about, but we have to do our research on that.
True.
But
do they elaborate on any of that in Archie at all, or do they just not? Is it just not part of that canon?
I feel like it was such a
almost
small.
think it would.
Yeah. I don't know if that was a detail that Archie or the comics at all ever really touched on.
You Archie's so weird, dude. Because at some points are like, yeah, I can't imagine this is ever going to show up in the comics, and then another time they're going to do an entire issue on a fucking Mecha Sonic cameo that doesn't actually do anything in the game itself. So it's kind of up in the air. So we'll do our research for that. But is there anything else you guys want to talk about in terms of Sonic Adventure spooky levels? Because it did a lot of interesting things with creepier elements.
I mean, even
without actually doing haunted stuff at all.
I'm terrible with the names of levels in Sonic games, but like I want to say Ice Cap.
Yeah.
In SA1, it before you get to like snowboarding and shit, it's like it's actually a little creepy. It's unsettling. Like the music is kind of muted.
It's a very restrained level before that.
Yeah, and then it just kind of loses its goddamn mind. But before that, really tame.
I'm gonna be honest. I want to know how many people died in the freaking tornado in Windy Valley. I want to know how many casualties there were for that.
I doubt there are many. It looks like they just have a whole landscape ready for tornadoes to whip you around the place.
It's like living in Florida. There are no hurricane casualties.
Oh, it's a fate worse than death. It takes everybody. It sucks up and sends them straight to Sonic 3D Blast.
Oh my god.
Well, let's move on to the game that I'd say this is like the first one that actually has a proper haunted theme to it. The one I'm sure everybody's been waiting for us to get to. And that's Sonic Adventure 2. And I've made it pretty clear at this point. And Wayne, I think we're on the same page here. While I respect the game to death, I'm way more of a Sonic Adventure 1 fan than I am 2.
That's both
Yeah.
of
That
you.
said, holy shit, I love Pumpkin Hill. I adore Pumpkin Hill
That is
so
why
much.
we are in Pumpkin Hill right now, Nick.
It is such an iconic level, and it's not even a Sonic level, man.
It's Knuckles. Well, technically there is a Sonic level that takes place here, but it's played, but you play as Shadow.
Yeah, but I think anytime anyone's thinking about that level, we're thinking of the
We're thinking of
Knuckles level.
Knuckles. You're thinking of
And, like,
Knuckles.
You're thinking
God,
of that
dude.
song.
Like, it just in terms of core gameplay, I know it's not about the theme, but the theme makes me want so much more to be happening in that level. I want so much more explained as to what's happening because there's so many interesting little set pieces happening. I just,
A lot of the
I love it.
a lot of the assets that are used in the level really feel like they're lifted out of Red Mountain too. Like they feel like updated Red Mountain assets almost. At least for
Yeah,
the part 1 assets. And I'm going to be honest, it with all the ghosts that are in the Sonic series, I really have to wonder, is that actually what happens when you die? Like if Sonic died in the capsule of the Space Colony arc, would we have gotten Ghost Sonic on Pumpkin Hill?
That's another thing we got to figure out for next week. What the fuck are the ghosts in these goddamn games?
And how do you explain to Call?
Is there an afterlife in the Sonic universe?
Oh my god.
I mean, kind of, right?
Was Sonic in Sonic 06 before he got bestiality back into existence? Was he just sitting there staring from heaven like, "Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it."
Hey, that's pretty gross, lady. What are you doing? Don't put your mouth there. Oh god.
I do not give you consent.
I gotta come back to life so I can stop this shit.
I didn't like that, and that's no good.
Let's get back to Sonic Adventure 2 here.
But that was Sonic Adventure 3, Nick.
I mean,
Not wrong.
Well, until they use the title. I mean, yes, we all agree about that.
No, don't even pretend when they use the title unless you want to accept Sonic 4.
it's pretty much gonna be
That's what
like
I'm
a
saying.
it's pretty much gonna be a like Crash 4 thing again, where it's like they used the title Crash 4, even though in Japan Wrath of Cortex was also titled Crash Bandicoot 4.
Let's talk about Sonic Adventure 2. Fuck. God damn it.
So so I mean there's Pumpkin Hill, but there was a level that was brought up in the chat that I hadn't considered, and that's Lost Colony. So
Yeah, fair.
that level it's
That
creepy.
Space horror, dude. Yeah.
It's creepy the first time you go through it, but I think that level's even creepier when you go through it a second time after like understanding the story, when you know what happened on the Space Colony arc. Once you've got that context, that level is a lot more unsettling, because when you know that GUN basically went there and slaughtered all the scientists, you're like, wait, are there corpses that Eggman's like canonically had to clean up just like hanging around Lost Colony? That is,
I can actually agree with that, and a reason is, now this is gonna be crazy. I actually played Shadow the Hedgehog before Sonic Adventure 2, and so my context for the Space Colony arc was established with Shadow the Hedgehog.
oh,
That entire level where you're on there watching soldiers getting murdered, some of them you might be doing the murdering on, and it's like and then going back to the Space Colony arc and seeing it in that dead state is just like yeah, stuff went down here.
it is a very freaky level, and the fact that, so like, here's the thing, I know that the Tails mech stages are all basically just, you know, shooty shoot fests. I have to say, Eggman stages in that game are actually, most of them have pretty well realized mechanics, and Lost Colony's mechanic of having to destroy as many enemies as you can so that the explosions will give you the ability to see is like, that adds to the atmosphere of that level so much, where you're just like, okay, there's only so many enemies around here that I can blow up, and when they're all gone, I'm out of light. Though I think that particular mechanic gets kind of ruined in later ports of the game because the lighting gets real screwed up the more times that game gets reported.
It's just
I
they
mean,
really played a
yeah.
lot with it. Like, I mean, people are giving us example after example of the spookier elements to Sonic Adventure 2, and that's something I really appreciated about the game, if nothing else, because that's a theme that becomes like a staple of the series that was surprisingly lacking before that point, and I don't see any reason why it should have.
Yeah, and I mean, because like here's the thing with the previous games, there was a little bit of there were the horror elements, like we had the Sandopolis we mentioned, there was the theme in not Mystic Jungle,
Mystic
Mystic
Cave,
Cave,
Marble, yeah, there's little hints and pieces, but nothing full
but
on. This is
nothing
Halloween.
nothing that makes you think, well, not even just this is Halloween. Like with places like Lost Colony, with places like that, there's actual dread because like somebody was mentioning the artificial chaos as well.
Mm.
Like those are things that when you know kind of how those things were created, you're like, oh, there's some twisted stuff that goes on in Sonic's universe.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think
why it
pretty
was
dark on the arc.
and I feel like
I
the
see what you
Sonic
did there.
franchise has always dabbled, and especially like in Sonic 3 Knuckles, like that does kind of feel like a horror level to a degree. But it's like it's why I've always been a little confused as to why people blame a lot of what happens on some of the 3D games on them trying to be mature or dark, because I think the Sonic franchise has always touched on that. Now, how well it does that, kind of varies by circumstance, but it's not something that the franchise was ever new to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I think that the franchise does it well from time to time. And Sonic Adventure 2 definitely like it toyed around with these concepts a bit. And I guess, hey, if we want to get back into like Shadow the Hedgehog, it did the same thing. It added like a creepiness to the Space Colony arc when you're in this level just watching it all go to hell and you're trying to guide Maria through this war zone. It was probably one of the most memorable things to me about that game in particular. I think Sonic can do dark and creepy. I think it needs to balance it. But
There's
it's like,
Yeah, it needs to totally fit with Sonic
Yeah.
itself too.
And I'd say that
Yeah.
like Lost Colony and especially places like Pumpkin Hill, they fit within that. They really do fit within that design because they don't feel forced. They feel very much part of those stories, and they feel pretty cohesive within Sonic's universe outside.
I don't know how well they fit. I don't know how well Pumpkin Hill fits in terms of a story, but aesthetically, it's very Sonic. I love
Yeah.
it. God, dude, I can't get over how much I love it. Like, just it's one of the most intricately designed of any of the levels, and it doesn't feel as aimless as Mad Space does. And I just desperately want more to be happening in that level than what actually does, because all you're doing is hunting down emerald pieces for the great emerald's power, as Emerald Fudd likes to say.
It allows you to feel.
Emerald. It allows me to feel.
way
the only time I
more
can.
power.
God damn it!
Like, what else? What else is in that game that kind of toyed with that?
The Dark Chow Garden.
The literal lake of blood.
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot.
A lake of blood in the Chow Garden. Why? Why was that a like? I remember. Okay, so I grew up in a Christian household, so I remember having to explain to my mom why there was a literal lake of blood in my Sonic game.
And what was your answer? I'm curious.
My answer was that, oh no, it's not blood, it's just colored red. Look, there are raspberries on the trees.
I was gonna say it was because I liked to imagine it was lava as a kid, and the Chow were just super resilient. But then again, Sega does that shit a lot. Have I ever talked to you guys about one of the most traumatizing games I've ever played as a kid? Sorry, this isn't Sonic, but it is Sega, and it is related to pools of blood and E-rated games. Okay, you guys familiar with Echo the Dolphin?
Yep.
Okay, Echo the Dolphin, defender of the goddamn future for the PS2. Although I've always been curious as to how the Dreamcast version of that game plays. God damn. Have you guys seen the final boss of that game?
No.
No, I have not.
You are inside the body of the fucking alien queen, and you are in its cardiac chamber. You have to beat your heart beat your stupid little dolphin nose into its heart enough times to kill the thing. All the while you are drowning to death because you're underwater and there's no air, and also there's a rising pool of blood coming from beneath you. You can drown to death in. It's horrifying. It's some Silent Hill shit, and I don't know how it's in an E-rated game.
Holy shit! I did not realize that so. I'm familiar enough with Echo the Dolphin in terms of like the few videos I've seen, but just looking at this stuff right now, my brain's like, wait, did H.R. Geiger make this?
Mhm.
This is straight out of the Aliens franchise.
As the game keeps going forward, like
Yeah, man.
the ocean keeps getting darker and creepier, and it like the creatures that are beneath there as the aliens, or I'm sorry, the foe are taking over. It's haunting. It was one of the most terrifying things I ever saw as a child. What's really funny? Mom and dad bought that game, not for me. They bought my sister and I a PS2, and they probably saw Dolphin, and they're just like, oh, cute. And so they bought it for my sister. She never played it, and I was bored one day, and I tried it out, and I regretted everything.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of on par for Echo. They go fucking wild. All three of those games. Not Junior. Junior stays pretty. Echo Junior is like the only one of those games that plays through like you'd expect it to.
I own
It's
every
a fun little dolphin game that's just for little kids. The rest of them are just
Yeah.
wild, dude.
I own a copy of Echo Junior. That's the only one I have that isn't in a box. I gotta see if we still have that at one of my other stores.
Shall mix in the chat confirmed placenta. Gonna edit
Oh,
the wiki page now.
That's placenta. Or conversation
God.
on all that chow blood. Let's actually.
The Chow
certify
Garden is
nobody.
Oh, I was gonna
wanted
say. Oh, what is that one? Sorry.
Oh no, like just like all the levels that actually kind of have like a creepy theme to them. Says Meteor Hurts better than Pumpkin Hill, which is just factually wrong.
No.
But Aquatic Mine was also one that is, still within the Pumpkin Hills, as you were. That was a level I keep forgetting about. Like every time I play the game, I'm like, oh yeah,
it is kind of a spooky themed level. It's not as like it's
and
not as in your face
water
with
in
it.
there too.
Yeah, it's not as in your face with the Halloween aesthetics as Pumpkin Hill is, but it carries a lot of those assets over. And
that's the first time you experienced the Ghost in Knuckles playthrough, right?
Pumpkin Hill's before Aquatic Mine, I thought. Is it?
Could be wrong. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I
Pumpkin
believe
Hill's before Aquatic Mine.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to put my biases aside here. Conceptually, Aquatic Mine is cool. Like just
I think so. Yeah,
and
I
everything.
really think it's a cool idea.
And it does like it makes me wonder. It's like, why was this such a theme in Sonic Adventure 2? You know?
I could describe Sonic Adventure 2's like level aesthetic as that skeleton puppy that you find. Like that's the best way I can describe it.
Oh, the skeleton dog?
Macabre yet cute, yeah.
That's the skeleton dogs and the half fishes in that game are just neck breaking weird sometimes, but they're cute.
So fun. It's so cool, dude. I as much as I shit on Adventure 2 eventually or occasionally because I miss my hub worlds or some of the level design here or there, I really love the spookier aspects of that game. I think they did them beautifully, both in terms of like the cuter macabre stuff in Pumpkin Hill and getting the more terrifying space stuff, because those last few levels are super intimidating until you become more confident in playing through them.
I do have to admit, so on the topic of like kind of recontextualizing a lot of the stuff on the Space Colony arc with like understanding what happened there, Meteor Herd almost feels like the belongings of all of the dead people on the Ark just kind of floating around there now as space trash.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And that just feels
baller, dude.
It feels fucking weird to think about.
You know what else is actually kind of creepy in SA2 on the Ark? That artificial Master Emerald altar
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but when I was playing through that game for the first time and like I saw that altar for the first time, there's like this pulsating like machine surrounding it and everything. There's something about that I was just like, yo, this is kind of creepy. It's
Yeah.
like this amalgamation of and I guess that was kind of going back to I latched on so hard to the ancient like Echidna tribe and everything like that back in SA1. And so to see this like version of it that's been slapped together just to utilize this forbidden power, like that's it's creepy and it's really cool.
Yeah. And it's God, I need to revisit Adventure 2 on stream now and not like go through I'm going to do a playthrough Adventure 2. Yeah. No, I want to actually just go through and explore that game properly with like get a mod that allows you to go in first person mode if I can find one, so I can just like inspect a lot of the assets in those levels now, because now I'm like, oh god, what am I gonna find now that I'm thinking about a lot of this stuff? Because I know that a lot of the like the more macabre aspects of this stuff is stuff that only exists in our minds because we know the story behind it. But there's gotta be something that's left over in like the assets of that game that hints to that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are one of those things I want to I'd like to see, and I do want to hear from chat too, like unsolved Sonic mysteries. Like I've been banging that drum for a while, but like I really want to do that as a topic for next week. But like between that and like the ghosts, I really want to know what the fuck is King Boo's whole deal and all of those other things. I think that'd be fun to kind of dig into, and I think Sonic Adventure 2 is a mine full of great ideas in concepts and stuff like that. In terms of that, I think that'd be worth checking out.
Plot twist, King Boo is actually Gerald Robotnik.
Oh,
Um, hmm.
That's just him.
well,
I mean, why else is it, he's in a giant pyramid for that has a fucking space shuttle house in it guarding the way to the colony. He's trying to get it out.
To be fair, though, it's not just the space shuttle that's in that pyramid. There's also a teleporter in that pyramid that takes you directly to the Ark.
It's Gerald Robotnik.
King Boom Boo is Gerald Robotnik confirmed. GUN tried to keep him down. They couldn't. But I do think...
Do you guys have anything left to say about Adventure 2 before we carry on?
Not that's within the theming of this, but I also couldn't shut up about that game, so that's also not fair.
That's fair.
Well,
No, I feel the same way about SA1, so it's like, no, I definitely, I know how you feel there, Bruce.
All right, so I don't remember anything from Shadow. It's been way too long, but
Heroes,
Wayne,
though.
you talking about it.
Wait,
Oh
Heroes...
my god, you're right.
Heroes is the next game chronologically.
And
we've got
full on Halloween
yeah,
style.
there's fucking you've got Mystic Mansion and you've got Hang Castle in there, and just holy shit, if there was a pair of levels that I fell in love with that game, it is those. Like those and the Egg Fleet, but we're not talking about the Egg Fleet today.
Let's see, that's where I'm going to be the outlier because I remember so little about Sonic Heroes, so I'm not going to be much help on that one.
So
Yeah.
About
you take the lead here, sirs.
So about the only sin I think that Mystic Mansion and Hang Castle really commit is that they use the egg pawns a lot still. Like that's one of the biggest issues with Heroes is like a lot of the enemies are just reskinned egg pawns, which sucks because that level deserved better enemies. There's a lot of things, especially the ending where the levels get entirely like ridiculously trippy, and there's this entire like 3-minute segment where they're like, hey, here's a section where you have to play as the speed character, but there's a lot of ways to fuck up and the level's going to trip you up, and then here's the section where you have to do it as the power character, so on and so forth. But they do a lot of almost like manipulating gravity, especially in Hang Castle, but it doesn't feel like gravity manipulation the same way that you get in like is it Crazy Gadget in Adventure 2, where it's not as in the way. It's more like aesthetically, you know that the characters are walking in places they really shouldn't be, but you're there nonetheless. And there's a lot of I don't remember if it's Mystic Mansion. I think it's Mystic Mansion where this takes place. But there's an area where like you walk in and there's this door and it just goes nowhere. But then like when you walk around it and you pop back around, suddenly the door actually is like open and it leads to another section of the castle. And there's like almost no explanation as to why that's a thing. And I love that because it's not really creepy because the level is themed to be very, very goofy with the Halloween aesthetic, but I love playing around with stuff like that where where it's not just going, aha, we have the Halloween decorations on in the Sonic level. It's like, no, some of the mechanics in this level are just meant to fuck with your head.
Yeah, no, I'm watching a little bit of the playthrough of Hang Castle because I don't recall too much of it, but this was definitely a standout for me for the game when I played it. I love this kind of aesthetic in any game to begin with. Yeah, like this just looks ridiculous. This is great.
It is the worst thing about it is the fucking boss fight at the end because it's not a boss fight, but like I'm sorry, when you go through Heroes again, because I know that's a thing you're planning on doing eventually, Nick. When you go through Heroes again, that level and also Egg Fleet, like any amount of slogging that is in that game is, in my opinion, made up for when you get to those levels because they are standout and fucking amazing. But yeah, no, the aesthetic in Mystic Mansion and Hang Castle, they're good, and they carry over to Shadow the Hedgehog, which I think Wayne will probably have to take the lead on.
Yeah.
It has been a very long time since I played Shadow, but I do remember bits and pieces. Because I do remember there wasn't a whole lot of creep factor in that game. For as edgy as it was, it had plenty of levels that were just kind of like upbeat. I mean, just like its own carnival level in
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
And I like. No, actually, that game doesn't have half bad music. But I remember like there was not far into the game. I want to say it was like the second level or something, depending on the route you took. There was like again, I don't know what it is about ruins and everything. It might just be
Oh,
that
are you
it's
talking about
connected to.
the aerial ruins you do with Knuckles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, as a kid, always adored anything aesthetically that just kind of like had the ruins of an ancient civilization. Anything of like there's something where taking that location and taking the things that they have built and reanimating them for our own purposes feels almost gross to me in a very intriguing kind of way. And so anytime I'm seeing something like that and they're like they've got this fleet of ancient ruins and stuff like that, I was fascinated by that concept as a kid, and there was something just sort of like creepy. It's not in the same level as like that's a very brightly lit level. There's nothing particularly Halloween themed. It's not trying to creep you out. I think it was supposed to
Mhm.
just be a cool visual. But
Yeah.
it's like depending on how deep you want to look into it conceptually, a little unsettling.
Well, yeah, it's like with it's like with the Soap of Adventure 2. There's some things that are creepy because the game is trying to be creepy. There's some things that are unsettling because the game's trying to be that. And then there's other things that like have a more existential dread to them where you have to kind of think about it, but once you think about it, you can't unthink about them almost. Like you can't unsee those concepts. The idea of us just kind of reanimating a lot of that shit the way that you're mentioning. Like I personally hadn't thought about it that way. Half of it because I haven't gone through Shadow the Hedgehog again in years, but I
Mm.
hadn't considered
Also,
that.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I would have been like, "Oh, is this guy Sanctuary?" Like that would have just been. That's all I really
Like,
remember from that game. That's really interesting.
and because I hadn't thought about it that way, now when I go through Shadow on stream, that's going to be the one thing in my head. As I'm playing through that level, I'm going to be going around and inspecting elements with that context. And that's going to make it
And
an interesting experience. I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
So, is there
and I
any?
mean, sorry.
I know you keep going on your point. I was thinking about something else with Shadow.
There were actually some other levels that did, I think, try to legitimately go out of their way to make you feel uneasy. There's like again, oh god, it's so fuzzy. I remember there's a level like towards the end of one of the routes where you're like, I want to say you're in some kind of like base that's up in the air or something like that, and it's like during the it's in late day, so you got this like glaring sunset over the horizon that you're constantly looking at. And I also want to say this machine was also responsible for blowing up the White House. Um,
Oh God, Well, there is a full on like macabre Halloweeny theme or closer to Halloween theme. I mean, there's a level called Cryptic Castle.
Yeah,
They've got yeah,
Cryptic
got
Castle
pumpkin
was that in?
yeah.
Shadow.
Cryptic Castle is Shadow the Hedgehog. It's basically because there's a lot of asset swapping between Heroes and Shadow. Cryptic Castle is the level where they take the
Oh,
Haunted Mansion and Hang Castle assets and flip them into the Shadow the Hedgehog game.
okay,
They're
I'm
different enough.
seeing it
They're
now.
different
Yeah.
enough. I'm watching it.
Oh, I know they're
This is
different
cool.
enough, but they feel very samey. Like you could take Cryptic Castle and put it in Sonic Heroes, and it would not feel like it didn't belong.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree. I'm excited to get back to some of these levels, dude. I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty cool.
The game may be a slog to get through, but there's certainly something special about some of those levels. Not There are some that I can't stand. I am not looking forward to going back to the Space Colony arc. I'm not. I remember as a kid getting lost in that level. Any creep factor that level might have had, any contextualization that level might have given me was lost by the fact that I was stuck in it for 33 fucking minutes.
I
And-
I have a really specific experience with that level in particular because that also happened to me and I got lost in it for the longest time. But that was also the night that because my TV that I was using at the time was dying out and the AV ports didn't work in it anymore. That TV must have been like the size of like one of my computer monitors at this point, probably a little smaller.
Mhm.
And I remember my parents came home with a new TV for me, which again wasn't anything impressive by what we would have in today's standards, but it was still like a little 4x3, like like tube TV
Yeah, CRT.
essentially. CRT, sorry. But it was so much bigger than what I had before, and I was fascinated because suddenly I'm getting this much bigger picture of this giant like space colony and everything. I'm trying to lead this girl around while people are constantly dying in the halls and stuff like that. Uh, as much as like I might need to go back and replay this game because the more I think about it, the more there were some kind of neat things going on in the background there.
There's
Yeah,
no
and I'm seeing that here. I mean, do you guys have anything to say about like the actual like Halloweenish level in the game?
I don't remember it, unfortunately, so no.
like they,
I'm watching some playthroughs of it right now. This is really cool, man. Like I kind of want to revisit this. Like giant jack-o'-lanterns and like a giant haunted castle, and it's weird because it's Shadow the Hedgehog, like just the edgiest we try hard we get. Yet the actual like Halloween theme thing looks just so fun. Like it just looks like it's having fun with itself.
I'm gonna be honest
I get
that I think that entire game, with as cringy and try hard as it is, I kind of feel like if you go back and play it, there might be an edge of like they knew what they were doing.
part of it, I think
Yeah.
so. Part of it, they still have fun, and it still feels very Sonic. And I think the biggest problem with that game is just the mission setup more than anything else.
Imagine if
Like,
every
there's
level
the
was Team
chows! There's
Chaotix.
a bunch of chows in this level. What the hell?
Yep.
I remember
Oh.
being so excited because I was just like, "Oh, it's my little buddies," and then lamenting that there was no Chow Garden in Shadow the Hedgehog, where I
Yeah.
could train an army of bloodthirsty chows to go do my bidding.
That's because
This is
you're
such a cool aesthetic, and you're getting chased by like a giant skeleton dragon thing at the end here.
Oh, what the hell? What?
Yeah, this is rad,
I
man.
don't remember this. I gotta replay this game.
No, this looks amazing. Cryptic Castle. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't play you Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, I played it when it originally came out, but like for this episode, I completely dismissed this one. I'm I'm a little regretful of that. I'm excited to go check that out whenever I go play that for the game or for Game Apologist.
And then you will get upset the entire time, and then you'll recollect yourself, and you'll talk about it very positively on a video.
Oh, you say that. I mean, I think
Nick,
not
I've
to get
known
too
you.
off
I've known
point,
you long enough.
yeah, but dude, I get like real. Like I'm just gonna tell you right now, 90 minutes, a lot of that's not very nice to Sonic Colors.
I can't. God,
Yeah.
I can't wait for this legendary video eventually.
It's just
getting
a
so hyped up for this.
movie of whining is what that's gonna be.
A movie of whining.
And cum jokes. It'll be
God.
great.
The wine apologist.
Don't
That's
worry.
I mean that's most wine heads or winos, isn't it?
You'll be H Bomber guy yet. Go on, making your full length movies.
Yeah.
That'll be me with Majora's Mask next year.
All right. Well, all right. I think we've said all we can really say about Shadow and Heroes. And I think that era, I'd say like that's when this more haunted theme really kind of came into its own. And I think they're still very memorable just from what I'm seeing here. These are really, really cool concepts and designs. I don't think there's much to say in terms of Sonic 06, but am I wrong there?
I remember even less of that game, so
I don't remember any spooky levels in Sonic 06. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay, well, let's move on past that. I'm sure chat will correct us if that's the case. That aside, Pup brought this up, and I wanted to bring this up a while ago. Sonic Rush Adventure has one of, I don't know if it's like one of the best haunted levels. It's been a long time since I've
Oh, the pirate ship one?
But the pirate, like the haunted ship level, is one of
sorry,
the
boys.
greatest.
I will be right back.
Yeah, no problem. It's got one of the greatest music tracks in all of the franchise, as far as I'm concerned.
So here's my thing. I have only ever played the first couple levels of Sonic Rush Adventure. I need to actually beat that game before I can honestly comment on it. And I hate saying that.
This is why we need Pup here, because he's out of all us the most recently played through.
Oh shit. Oh no, there actually is a creepy thing Smacko just pointed out in 06.
Go for it.
Crisis City. There's an entire fucking post-apocalypse where humanity is dead.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I'd say Mephiles more than anything else is like the creepy factor of that game.
Yeah, like just the way that he moves around like a pup. Like, okay, so
his music, yeah, dude, he takes all of that and puts it into one character.
So like we all know that like characters in Sonic 06 move around like puppets to begin with, but for Mephiles, it's like they dialed that aspect up for him, and just oh my god. Just watching him kind of slink around in Shadow's body, just like he doesn't belong in that thing. And it's so creepy. And it's weird, too, when you consider that his voice actor is fucking Dan Green, the voice of Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!
And Knuckles.
And Knuckles. He's Knuckles, too. Yep.
Great voice for Knuckles, by the way.
Yeah.
A bit too old sounding for a teenager, but... God damn if I don't love Dan Green's voice, man.
I'm going to be honest, the only two voices that I do not like in that cast, I do not like Omega's voice, and I do not like Rouge's voice. I much
Omega's voice is way too... Yeah, it needs to be deeper. He needs to sound like Gamma. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he needs, like... I like Omega's voice in Heroes. I think that it's perfectly fitting in Heroes, but I don't need Rouge to sound like she's constantly trying to seduce the cast. I just don't.
That's kind of I think that's fine for her. I think her ex voice is way better.
Are you slut shaming Rouge?
I think that's the same.
No, we're not slut shaming Rouge. Just I prefer the Adventure 2 voice for Rouge. I just prefer the Adventure 2 voice for Rouge. I'm sorry.
No, I do too.
Oh, I like her. I like the 4Kids cast quite a bit, actually. If I'm honest.
Like I said, those are the only two miscasts for me. Just Omega and Rouge. That's it. Everybody else is great.
Well, we already know that, like, Sonic X Rouge, she might flirt, but she's dedicated to one woman, and that's her cop girlfriend.
Yep, Topaz. She's dedicated solely to Topaz. Continue.
So quickly, because again, I'm watching the playthrough of what's it called, haunted ship
Yeah.
again. This level is just great. I love this. It's again another haunted theme, but we got pirates in the mix there. We got some ghost pirate robot things going on here, blasting through cannons and up and down, like, what are they called? The riggings of a ship, I suppose.
Masts.
Like all the masts and the riggings, like all of that, like almost like a really nice it's just a nice aesthetic for a rush game. They really played with it nicely because he's going up and down ropes and like pouring up stairs, and their scale's a bit off, if I'm honest with you, but it's really cool, man. Like this is another great haunted level for Sonic, and again, it's not like full on actually creepy. It just takes a macabre setting and just has fun with it. And again, the music is just it just fucking slaps, dude. It's really good. So I apologize that you guys have not beat it, but hey, I would recommend it.
I just need to
Pup would
go.
agree with me there.
I need to go
That's
through
the
it
DS
again.
game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the second DS game.
Like
Okay.
I miss
Um,
as much as I love Rush, I never actually got Rush Adventure as a kid, so I only played it on like friends' copies for like bits and pieces. So now I feel like a piece of my childhood that could have been there is missing now.
well, the only Rush game I've played is like I don't know if this is contentious to call it that, but the Colors DS.
It's very much
that's
considered
rush
like
free.
the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It counts. It's fine.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it
You
was
got like
fun.
a robot pirate Captain Ghost as the boss for the level. This is cool. This is cool. I'm a fan. I like this.
And then the pirate enemy of Rush Adventure was revealed to be exactly who you thought it was all along.
Hey, platformers aren't all that great at subverting your expectations unless it's Klonoa.
They can. Yeah, yep. Jesus
Klonoa,
Christ.
Klonoa's an outlier because it's perfect, but yeah.
So another
Uh,
set of games I'm going to assume you guys have not played because we talked about this a little bit. Sonic Rivals.
I've never touched Rivals, ever, and I wish
Oh.
I had.
Those have some very specific. They've got some more macabre themes in there too. I'm not remembering what the name of some of those levels were. Is the only part there? I think played Mystic again. Like Mystic was one of the names in there. I'm just gonna look that up again. Mystic Haunt Zone. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna throw that in there, and I'm gonna just take a peek at this. Yeah, like when they weren't doing much with it on the consoles, they were. Holy shit! Is that Sonic EXE?
What?
Holy shit! It
What's
got
up?
Sonic getting freaked out by a creepy red-eyed Sonic who's chasing him.
Wait, in the Rivals games?
Yeah, and Sonic Rivals too.
What? Hold
It's just this
on.
little cutscene before the game starts, but yeah.
Hold on.
Mystic Haunt. Yeah, he's getting chased by a clone Sonic. It turns out it's just a ghost. But oh my god!
That is, I did not know that was a thing.
I don't remember that either. That's super creepy. Is that where this came from?
I do not know, but also that does remind me, there is a Sonic EXE PC remake being made. I'm not kidding.
Of course there is.
Still, man, that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that was a thing. This is crazy. It really goes to show, like, you really should have played more of the portable games for this episode, man.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, Pup's played it. He knows what's up. That's the Mimic Ghost. That's really cool, man. Okay, well, I'm gonna get off of this because again, nobody in episode today has played this yet, but
Nope.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I played Rivals 2 a long time ago. I just don't remember this, but yeah, this is really fucking cool. Going on from there though, am I wrong in saying I think this is hilariously weird? The game that features most of the time you're playing it as a fucking werewolf don't have any haunted themes at all in that game, right?
I can't think of any.
Which is funny because it did have an animated short
Yep.
promoting the game that
Night of
was
the Werehog.
it was great. I loved that short.
Oh yeah, it felt like a Pixar mini.
I was gonna say it was like if Pixar did like Casper.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
it
was
is
charming as hell.
very strange that with the advent of that game, we don't actually have anything at all that is horror themed. I guess it's because the primary theming of the primary theming was based off of like individual like real life places, and they didn't really want to associate any of those with like this is the scary country. It's not like they had it's not like, well, actually, you know what, they could have had a
Yeah,
Transylvania country.
Cowardice.
No, that's
They could have been like, and this one's Transylvania, and that would have been fine, I imagine. But
God, a
still,
Transylvania themed like Sonic World would be so great.
just imagine the new freaking the new rival character for that is like a vampire bat, and this like the entire time Sonic's trying to make them his rival, and then Rouge just comes in and is like, "Nope, this one's mine. I don't fight Knuckles for the emerald anymore. This is my rival now. Back off."
I made a joke about this a while ago, but this kind of drove me nuts. But like when they did Halloween costumes for one of those mobile games, they had Shadow dressed as a vampire. Rouge was right there.
Yep.
Was she dressed as anything?
Instead. She's dressed as a witch.
I mean,
witch.
to be fair,
A witch.
witches are hot, but also
Are vampires.
but vampires are dead. They literally can't get it up. Think about it, Wayne.
Vampires
Vampires-
are vampires are like all sexuality.
Oh,
What
I
are you
know.
talking
No,
about?
I know.
The horniest creatures in fiction.
I know. They're
Christopher Lee played one. They are nothing but sensual.
That's because the entire the vampire was based on horny aristocrats. That was literally what they were stereotyping when they made
That's my
vampires.
So I guess you're just proving our point.
Yes.
Why the fuck wasn't she?
It wasn't Rouge. Why wasn't Rouge a vampire bat? I don't know. I can't. Dang it. Now you guys are going to make me go get a freaking vampire freaking character outfit for my VTuber model.
I
It's
cannot
nothing
believe
to do with Rouge. Why do you always have to just make it about you?
What? I'm talking about the vampire thing. Shoosh.
I cannot believe we've been robbed of Rouge's giant vampire dick.
Oh my god.
Chat did point this out, and yeah, I missed this completely, but I do not remember this game in the slightest. But Skeleton Dome and Sonic and the Secret Rings. I'm again watching some gameplay of it right now. It's a more haunted theme with dinosaur bones. I respect that.
It's also, if memory serves, that's the level that like is almost at a certain point that level goes almost entirely vertical, where you're just like constantly running around trying to get to the top. And it feels
you're running on a spinal cord right here in the middle of a cave.
Okay. I need, god damn it. I love that game, and yet I haven't played through it again in forever.
Fighting skeletons. This is great. This is great. I love it when Sonic plays with Halloween. Oh.
It's a great aesthetic. I mean, honestly, like Halloween stuff, I was always just fascinated by, even because I grew up in a Christian household myself, but I just could never deny how great like the whole Halloween aesthetic was. That, and I'm obsessed with the color orange now. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Yeah, Wayneburger. Wow, that earned nothing but ire.
We just let you sit in it.
I'll see myself out.
I know.
Gonna need to go back to therapy for that one.
Well, no, like I'm watching Secret Rings here, and like whatever I'm gonna say about the gameplay for any of these games, I'm never gonna deny how much I love some of these level aesthetics here and how creative they got with even haunted themes here, because again, we're doing a haunted theme, but they're doing it with the aesthetic of the Arabian Nights, and it's. I mean, I'm not familiar with the country of origins for those stories, but it still seems thematically fitting. Or, I guess if a different country did Halloween, this is really cool. It's really neat. Fuck me, man. I really do miss some of the more creative designs for Sonic levels.
Sonic
It is
running on spines.
interesting. I would love to see, although I don't know if it would I'm not 100% on this because I don't know if it if it steps on any like appropriation of some kind. I would love to see like a Day of the Dead kind of inspired Sonic aesthetic.
Like,
I would. Oh, Day of the. Oh, you mean with like the sugar skulls?
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool look. I've always loved that.
I mean, we
but
got
it's
something like
also-
that in Mario Odyssey, so I don't know why we wouldn't get it in Sonic now that he's copying everything Mario does.
That is fair.
Psychonauts
Well,
too.
yeah, even Crash Bandicoot did it recently too. So yeah, I guess they could. It depends on who's working on the team, I suppose.
No, I don't know, man. Like that's a whole bigger discussion, but I think that
Yeah.
aesthetic alone is. You can tell it's like this is what inspired this level, and we're having fun with it. I think there's a difference there between that and creation. I
Yeah.
can't speak for that. I'm a straight white guy that grew up
That's
in the
what
middle
I
of the
mean.
country.
Is like I'm not educated quite enough on like if that would be stepping on toes to really say, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But that
I
aesthetic
mean,
would
I also
make...
did buy a $3. It's just a $3 line of sugar skull lights from Walmart the other day.
I will say though, I do agree that like that aesthetic would be very fun for a Sonic level because there's a lot of interesting things you can do with that level, like whether or not you stick with fully we're going to go with Day of the Dead aesthetic, or if we're actually going to go like Sonic Unleashed and take like aspects of that culture and work it into the level design. Like they could do a lot of things with it.
Well, especially if you're looking at like something like you mentioned, Nick, Psychonauts. Brilliant ideas that they played around
Oh
with
God,
on
dude,
that
that's one of my
on that
favorite
front.
levels.
Yeah. Oh, it's
So
so
good.
great.
Yeah. But yeah, trying to think. Like, are we nearing the end of our spooky Uki Sonic levels here, guys?
I mean, there's not much in the way of spooks in Lost World, really. There's practically nothing.
There's got to be something in there. No, there's
which is-
got to be something.
I feel like it's funny because there was more to say about a just a single level called Lost World than an entire game with that title.
Oh shit! Oh, isn't that usually the case? We're gonna do something. We're gonna cheat a little bit here. I'm going to pull up Sonic News Network's. They're a Sonic Wiki, a great resource if you guys have not used them before. And we're gonna take a look here and see if we missed anything here. Sonic Rush Adventure.
I was
Dome.
actually also gonna say, didn't Sonic Forces kind of have a spooky themed level not that far in?
Did it?
No,
Uh,
from this list anyway. But you wanna?
Let me
get it up?
double check something because I thought like the first or second like classic Sonic level that you play. Let's see, give me 1 second here.
Sure. I mean, there's
Um,
in the racing games. They keep mentioning the race games. I really don't think that counts because they're jumping into different. Oh God, frog in my throat there. Getting into different series there, right? That's going to be mostly House of the Dead.
Yeah.
They're mentioning Sky Road for a haunted level. Does that
Sky
sound
Road
familiar at all?
from that's one of the last levels in Lost World, where you're like kind of pursuing Zavik a little bit. I really don't know if I'd consider that way though.
I'm not seeing that here, but yeah, they listed that. And I'm just taking a peek here. Oh, they got booze in here. I guess that's why. I suppose. Located on Lost
okay.
Hex, Sky Road is located right by Windy Hill and Lava Mountain. It is essentially an area high above the skies where ancient ruins and floating platforms are located. There are two variations of the stage. One is a peaceful daytime-like zone, while the other takes place in a darker surrounding area where thunderstorms and ruined cities can be seen in the background. Why don't I remember this?
Because it's in Lost World.
I did remember what level I was thinking of in Sonic Forces. No, it's not spooky at all. I was actually mixing it up with a level from Lunate's Veil, so that's my bad.
Oh my god. Oh my
Lunate's
god.
Veil does play around with some stuff, but we're not talking
Oh, wasn't
Klonoa
it
today.
fun about that? Yeah, yeah. We'll do we'll do our own Klonoa discussion video at some point. Not here, but together.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I think that might conclude our spooky Sonic levels for today. And I think we're all desperately missing Pup. So, Pup, tell you what, we'll meet your demands. If you really need us to become a sex death cult, I think we can reach some kind of arrangement. So if you want to come on back next week, we'd love to have you.
This is going to involve exploiting me some way, isn't it?
I
Always.
feel like you just keep trying to insert yourself into these situations here, Cirrus, and quite frankly, I'm not gonna pee on you, man. I'm just not doing it.
No.
Like, Vampire Rouge ain't gonna pee on you, Cirrus. Give it up.
I'm gonna wait to see if we have anybody in chat here with any other suggestions here. Let's go ahead and get through our super chats for right now, and I have to scroll through all these fucking animal pictures that Pup wanted to distract us with.
We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
Why?
He wants us to show them to the audience where he's been.
It's a Sonic
what he's up to.
podcast. It's not family
well,
get
but-
together photo time. God damn it, Pup.
Well, what's it?
Got tortoises. We'll do it, obviously.
Oh my god.
Let's start with panel Pup. With 5
Of course.
pounds. Sorry I couldn't be here, boys. Nick for Sunset City Mayor. Yeah. I mean, I am.
Wait,
Nick energy.
did you
Thank
ignore where he said temporary?
Yeah, because it's a useless word. So why
No,
say it?
Nick, I'm
It
sorry.
just
I
spent
have
5 pounds to just be incorrect, Pup, but good on you.
I am-
It is big Nick energy.
This is an intervention, Nick. You're going mad with power. Stop.
one fair and square. The recount didn't matter.
I'm just caught in the middle of this power struggle.
You and me both,
Cirrus-
Wayne.
Cirrus is just be like, God, guys, just stop. I'm just right in the middle of it. Stop. Oh, stop drilling me with all your power.
Wait, what? Wait,
Whoa.
wait. This has gotten mildly uncomfortable. What?
Yeah, that's why it's from the joke just from like 5 minutes ago. How you try? Never mind. I'll delete those.
That was me inserting myself, not you inserting yourself, sir. This is very different.
But
Do
you
what I
wish you
want.
would insert himself.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, that's troublesome. That's troublesome. Let's move on past that joke.
Let's go. Yeah, let's move on to Triforce P's comment. $5. Have a meeting in 5, so I have to watch later, but you folks have fun today. Oh boy, they said that on the first part of the episode.
Yeah, they did.
They're in.
Something tells me we'll be having a meeting later too.
I guess so. Sorry, everybody.
It's okay,
Sorry.
Nick.
It's my
Everybody,
turn to cut the meeting.
you need to go to the corner now. It's okay. Wayne, you got the next one?
Yes. So this one was from that Jordo. Am I wait?
Nope.
No, I'm sorry. I'm skipping ahead a little bit here. From Sonny. $2.79 Canadian. Haunted ship Mystic Haunt Supremacy.
Yeah, those are the PSP and DS game.
I
that
see.
we're
I see.
talking about that we haven't touched. They're really good. We owed them more attention than what we gave them. We really should have played those because they're really cool. I didn't know about I completely forgot about the Mystic or the Copy Ghost, whatever the fuck it's called. That's really cool, man. It was really cool. So we're gonna explore that a little bit further.
Mimicghost.exe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some deep dives. I'm excited to talk about Sonic again. It's a Christmas miracle. That Jordo gave us $5. I need a full horror game starring Amy. Didn't say no to it. It'd be fun.
It'd be very interesting getting a now the question is, would you want it as a reimagining of First Action Adventure 1, or would you want something completely different?
I've said it on this podcast before, and I'll say it again. I really wanted that gameplay refined a little bit better. I think she gets the raw end of the deal there, and I think she really has some really cool mechanics at play there. And I think it come out to play really nicely in Advance 1 as well. I don't really recall too much of 2 and 3, but I really was having fun with her for at least Advance 1. So, yeah, but I'll take more Amy gameplay however I can take it. Bring me that hammer and that awesome momentum it gives you too. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Turns out the whole time Nick was just an Amy simp all along.
Guess you could call me a simp hog.
It doesn't
right.
work. It doesn't work as well. It really
Of
doesn't.
course it doesn't, because it's not Sally.
Do you need to rally for Sally?
A little bit later. Moving on.
Wait, what?
Off stream.
Oh my god.
Is that what the kids
All right.
call on it?
So, Cyrus, it's your turn.
Sure thing. The next one is from Way Past Cool Kid, correct? Because this one is $1.99. Am I missing?
No.
Yeah,
you're
there
missing
was yeah.
I see. There was one from. Oh god, yeah. I had to. I tried to skip this one because I blocked it out of my mind. Sorry. This one's from Channel Pup. It says for Wayne, Metroid stupid.
So Channel Pup will not be returning to the Sunset City crew.
That's where we talk about nothing but Metroid when we don't talk about Sonic on the air.
There will be no more meetings involving Pup, as Pup will now be starting his own podcast called Channel Pup and Friends.
Because I'm gonna beat his ass with my Metroid Dread Steelbook.
Spoiler alert, there are no friends.
We make it work somehow. All right.
Anyway,
Wayne.
So from Way Past Cool Kid, $1.99. Good morning, boys. Hey, how's it going? I believe that was at the start of the second attempt at this stream.
Yeah, we did our best. My internet
Yeah.
broke, I'm sorry.
It freaks me out. My dog knows how to open I have a sliding door for my game room, and he's figured out how to open it up. So what? I just look over it's sliding open. It just scares the shit out of me. Talking about Ghost and Sonic games, Ghost. I can't handle that. My little heart can't handle it. Anyway.
Shivas. So the next one, I think
I have to do it. I gotta do mine.
No, it's Wayne. Okay. No, it's Nick. Damn it. Fuck.
You're just losing it in your old age. I get it.
Nick Milk. I mean, Nick Milk.
What? Hold on. Hang on. Hold on. Let's unpack this for a second.
What? Please
you,
don't unpack it, Nick. I'm good.
Have you seen that meme?
You were waiting till off air. You're right. I apologize. I'm sorry. What meme? What meme?
The breast milk meme.
No, I haven't. Sony gave us $2.79 in California, I guess. I don't know. Did someone say Zavik? Don't we always?
We probably said it at some point, yeah.
He is the best. He is the best character.
God.
All right,
Why are we
Cyrus,
like this?
if you're done talking about milk.
I'm not. But from Aiden F. Love the podcast. Best part of my Friday. It was the best 2 parts of our Friday, too.
That Papa speaking out in the chat. Nick Milk. Oh no! I don't think that should be one of our running gags on this show. Oh God! Is it my turn?
Yeah, sure.
I just have to keep scrolling through all these fucking animal pictures.
Wait, the animals are fucking in those pictures?
You gotta calm it down, buddy. You are on thin ice right now. Goodness gracious. Horny boy. Calm it down. If you do want to share the picture of the sulcata, though, that'd be pretty dope. Just why are you freaking out? Oh, the tortoise is awake too. It's just chaos in my room right now. Yeah, where are we? I think Mr. SP was the next one, right?
Yes, yeah, that'll be me. So Mr. SP with $10. Nick's Sonic Colors video is getting the Metal Gear Solid 5 treatment. It'll be done when he runs out of new ideas, or when Konami steps in and forces him to stop.
Yeah, or ad revenue at this point, really.
Yep.
See, get out of here. Go, go, go. I can hear your tail over here. Calm down. Go. We will go out in a second. Go. Go. Goodness. All right. All right, guys. All right, where are we at? Channel pup with 2 pounds. Cirrus, show the photos to the stream.
Well, your wish is my command, pup. We have one turtly boy up there.
Oh goodness. Well, I guess I'll have to figure out. I'm looking at chat too. We'll have to figure out an interesting way to advertise Nick Milk on a T-shirt someday.
I don't want this.
Welcome. I'm sorry, Wayne. Look, he's an old man. He's not gonna have it much longer. It's gonna turn to powder eventually. Use it while he can.
That's the kind of tortoise I have. The one you're showing right now. That's a sulcata.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it's a young one like mine too, from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I keep having to rescue turtles from the road, Nick.
Yeah. You want to trade houses? Because I would live there and make a beautiful turtle sanctuary. Because I'm supremely jealous of all the boxies and terrapins you keep running into.
It's like one every other day now.
I'd like to know how big that sulcata is. He looks young still. This picture. They're the third. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get into tortoise rant. Where are we now with our super chats?
We're at the one from that Jordo, I believe.
Your turn.
Yeah.
Nick.
This is from. This one is from that Jordo for $5. They took Pup's balls, so he took their podcast. Yeah.
Why doesn't he have his own show called the Pupcast?
I guess because we're all better at marketing, but dear God, he needs to.
Yeah. Get on that. Do like a Patreon exclusive thing. Puptreon. Why don't you call it your Puptreon? Fuck.
Oh god damn, the puns
They're
So many
everywhere.
pup puns.
is how I die. I'm just gonna end it after I hear the next one.
The puns are just flowing like milk. From Nick.
No.
I think we've all known.
No.
We don't know how, we don't know when, but I think we've all accepted that somehow, some way, Pup will be the death of all of us.
I don't want to keep thinking about Nick's milk.
You're welcome.
Anyway, Jamal Simmons, our pal Jamal, $5. Happy B Theory Day, guys. Can you guys make Nick to sing Pumpkin Kitten?
I think you meant Pumpkin Hill. Campaign on this donate. I don't know the actual lyrics now that I'm thinking about it.
Can you sing the Pumpkin Hill song?
Ricky Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider. No, you don't want nada. None of this 6 gun in this brother running this Buffalo Soldier. Look, it's like I told you. Any
What?
damsel that's in distress, be out of that dress once you meet Jim West. I don't actually. That's the only.
Why do you know the theme to Wild Wild West?
That's the only thing worth knowing about Wild Wild West. That's
Starring
Will Smith?
Will
it's a
Ferrell.
great song. They made a whole movie to advertise it.
Is it a great song?
Ironically,
They did the same shit with the other one, the other Will Smith one, the Men in Black, that one.
yeah. No, they just made movies to advertise his corny ass music. It was great. It was a
Except
magical
Men in Black was
time.
actually pretty good though.
Yeah, no, I mean they're fun ass movies, dude. He was the summer blockbuster guy. He was great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry, we are getting way off topic. Yeah. So the next one, Nick.
From Smacko. It was 5 pens. And I love the Echidna lore in the essay games. Too bad Sega seems afraid of revisiting it since of the Penders thing. Also have some Smacko. I guess he's just decided, you know what? This is my own currency. Have some Smackos.
It's like a bad freaking cryptocurrency, Smacko coin.
It sounds like something you would find in a Ren and Stimpy cartoon. That's what it sounds like.
Need to pay for 15 Smackos, please.
Goodness gracious. Everyone's still talking about Nick milking the
Nick, I'm sorry that I have created a meme. You're
No,
not
it's
welcome.
fine. We're not gonna deal with no Nick milk not until I start my OnlyFans. It's fine. Moving on.
It's like we're gonna have cartons of it too, but instead of like the faces of missing children on the side, it's just gonna be a picture of Nick's dick.
I mean, we could go that route. We could just give me some big old mommy milkers like we got for Cirrus there.
Yep.
That's fair. Why not both?
I know a couple of modelers that can get you hooked up.
No, not doing that. Let's actually talk about the comment
super
in hand
chats,
here. So the echidna lore, I think that's gonna have to be a bigger conversation when we actually tackle penders and an actual echidna lore in its own video.
Yeah,
honestly.
because I do have some thoughts about that, especially with I feel like the movies are gonna try to open the doors to that a little bit and get back into all of that, but that might be a discussion better for whenever we tackle echidnas in general.
When movie 2 comes out, we'll see what they do with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Cirrus has been doing a lot of legwork when I said, like, look, for speed reading, we're really gonna have to tackle like the Pender situation. I think it's important because I think a lot of fans only know him as this negative force in the franchise, and in a lot of cases, I do think he is, but at the same time, I think it's important to tackle the human element of all of that as well. Both sides of it, both for him and the artists and writers and fans he's affected. But yeah, I mean, the echidna stuff that he's involved with, it is, if nothing else, it is fascinating. And Cirrus has been doing some diligent work finding like the legal stuff behind all that, like what's been said in court and everything, so we get as thorough as possible. So I think, Cirrus, I think you're onto something. I think bringing Knuckles into a giant mainstream event like a movie, that's going to reignite that discussion, and I think it would be pretty on point for, I don't know, on point, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think that'd be a good time for us to see where those conversations go, be informed enough that when those questions start popping up again, we're ready to tackle them.
I still have the login for the legal site. The only problem is that it's going to I don't know how much it's going to cost me to get all those documents, but we'll see.
Well, let me know, and I'll, obviously
Your
I'll
soul.
when all that stuff there. Cirrus, what did you send in the chat? Jesus.
It was the meme.
Oh no. Oh, Pup, what did you make? No.
Jarrett.
Podcast exists, you fool.
Oh my
the rest
god.
of the zoo pics. Oh god. This has been pure chaos. Where are we? We got past that. Wayne,
wait.
You want to do way past Ghoul Kid?
Yeah, that's fucking great. Way past Ghoul Kid.
Don't get grabbed by the ghoulies, guys. Come on.
Sorry. Way past Ghoul Kid sends $1.99. Sandopolis has ghosties. That's valid spoops.
It's valid spoops. I love that word. I know
wrong.
you guys hate it, but I love that word.
Of course you do, you fucking nerd. Anyway.
Oh, it's called Nilk now.
No! Oh no!
Nilk.
Wait, the question needs to be asked then. It's chocolate milk. Anyway.
So,
Mr. SP said $10. Let's not forget the most dramatic Sonic level of the classic era. Carnival Night Zone.
Oh, do you mean Limbo?
You mean Barrel?
Like the
Barrel?
ultimate
Donkey
the
Kong
ultimate
thought
challenge.
he had barrels. Sonic's Carnival Night Zone. He's got barrels.
Should we just rename the episode to Nilk?
Nilk.
Oh my god. That's gonna have to be a thumbnail picture at some point that one chip up made.
I'm scared now because because Xiaomix is a really good artist and he's saying Nilk in all caps in the chat, I'm scared of what we're gonna find on Twitter in a week.
He is inspired.
Congratulations, Nick Milk is his muse.
Oh
God.
Okay.
You okay, Wayne?
No.
Cirrus, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. AKA
dog's
Shoden. Thank you very much
Desperately
for the
staring at me.
$10 for and on to you, Wayne.
Yeah. So, our pal Jamal, $2. Nick X Sally Acarn for life.
They think
just
the
'cause-
milk is made. That silence is the best I could have hoped for. Oh,
I just
delicious warm milk. Okay. Jamal Simmons, we're not done yet. I'm sorry, everybody. Said $2. Can we get a Nick Milk fan artwork strike?
Oh, we're missing one. We're missing one. We're missing a couple actually. We also had Channel Pup with £2, obligatory Klonoa name drop.
Yep.
And also Way Past School Kid again with obligatory B Theory sex joke.
And them all in. Oh god.
And another one that we didn't quite get into the list here. Way Past School Kid with another $2. Nick Milk Bath when.
It's like gamer bathwater, but Nilk.
Oh no.
Here's the thing,
Nilk
Nick.
Bath.
All I'm doing is I am forcing what has already happened to me onto you, as I have shown in our chat.
I keep saying it, and it's never happened yet. So we'll see. You know you made it when you have a whole bunch of Nilk artwork.
That's gonna be how you get all the fan art. It's finally going to happen for Nilk.
Oh god. Let's keep on rolling through. So
gotta keep on pumping out.
Yeah, Way Past School Kid gave us $1.99 to say Nilk again, and AKA Shonen just sent $5. The Nilk commercial, Sally does acting, Rouge does the narration, and Pup and Circe do the writing.
Yes.
Sure.
We got it.
And Evil Dalek sent £1.79. Weave 2 Creep Weeks. Tails Doll and Sonic EXP episode. We'll see. We'll talk about it a little bit more. I'm gonna do Tails Doll for a Mecha Madness eventually. So
I do feel like Tails Doll and Sonic EXE stuff is really overdone, though. But
and it's more. I mean, a lot of the fan base, a lot of that lore themselves, and I think that's fascinating in its own right. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm very informed on it. It's definitely not on my time. So I don't know, but we're gonna have to wrap things up, guys, because my dog is whining at me, and he's got to drop some real big poopers here soon.
He's a pooper pupper.
He is indeed. Guys, thank you for everything. What is everybody up to these days? What are you guys working on?
Well, I'm still just kind of like neck deep in Metroid month. Actually, when we're done with the podcast, I really need to finish out this next episode so I can get the Patreon version of it going up today, and it will be going live Sunday. I was gonna try to. There was one other project I was gonna try to do. I can't do that now. It's fine. Everything's fine. And then I have like 2 more Metroid month videos going up this month. It'll be Prime 3 next week, and then Dread the week after. And then I need to take a week off of making any videos after that. Your boy's tired.
Understandable.
Cirrus, what are you up to?
The biggest thing I've got going on is as soon as the 19th hits, as soon as I wake up, we are starting my subathon, which is a 12-hour-long stream on Twitch to begin with, but every time somebody gives a sub, it adds 5 minutes to my timer on the stream. Anytime somebody does a donation, it adds 10 minutes to my timer on the stream if it's a $5 donation. Basically, I'm going to be trying to get a lot of content done during that time, and also be doing a lot of group games with people. We've even got sub goals. A certain amount will play Gartic Foam with the chat, Among Us with the chat, stuff like that. Will all be happening over there. We've also got a bunch of special guests who are coming on. I've got a few people from the VTube community who are comfortable coming on my channel. I've also got a few other people who I do not want to name because this is not the place for it, who will be coming on as well. So if that kind of madness is your cup of tea, then I'll be over there for pretty much until chat starts having mercy on me. That's kind of how those things work.
Cool. All right, and I'm a game apologist on everything. I've not put out a video for a couple of weeks. I really got to wrap things up here, though. My dog really has to go to the bathroom. Solid Colors video is going to be coming out soon. And yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen all my videos, please go watch them. Pup is that channel Pup. He just recently released a few videos on different subjects. He gave a much more positive review on Venom, I think. I have not watched his video, but I've seen the
God, Ghost sounds so sad, dude.
Yeah, he's not sad. He just needs to shit. So go watch his stuff, channel Pup. We're gonna be back next week with even more Sonic stuff. Pup, I'm sorry, god damn it, this is not a zoo picture podcast, and that wouldn't make sense for the audio people who still don't have these audio files anyway. I gotta go.
Book it since another $2. Nick, get your nanny milkers under control.
All right, go take care of Ghost. Go do your thing. You're a dog dad. Go do it. Me and Wayne got the rest of this.
All right. Have a good one, guys. See you later.
Hi Wayne. Now you're stuck in the chat with me.
Oh God! And with that, because I don't want to be held at gunpoint here. The hell are those?
And the sun is setting on this entire conversation. Good night, everybody.
All right, bye.
Nilk.
No.